This week, we find out if Robert De Niro has what it takes to become an intern. Hey guys, welcome back to Monday Morning Critic. I'm Crystal Kennedy, and this week I'm reviewing the new, I want to say romantic comedy, but it's not. But anyway, it's The Intern from Nancy Meyers. She is behind Private Benjamin. It's complicated. Parent Trap, which is one of my favorite movies, and DeLorean's in it, and it's amazing, but I digress. But Nancy Meyers' new movie is called The Intern, and Anne Hathaway's in it, Robert De Niro's in it. It also has some really great guest roles. Rene Russo, Adam Devine, that we all know and love from Pitch Perfect, who is hilarious in this movie. Andrew Rannells is also in the movie. And he was in that TV show, The New Normal, which I loved, which unfortunately didn't last. And my favorite, Nat Wolff, was in it, but he wasn't in it enough. He was only for a hot second, and then we didn't see him again, and I was so sad because I would have loved to see him. Anne Hathaway's character, Jules, has started this company from nothing, and it's now this big, huge internet company, and it's in Brooklyn in this great neighborhood, and they wanted to start an outreach program for seniors in the area. And when I say seniors, I don't mean in high school or in college, I mean senior citizens. The whole time, all I kept thinking of is my stepdad, because Robert De Niro, he kind of reminds me a lot of him, and I can just totally imagine my stepdad like walking into this big, hip tech company with like 20-somethings on their iPads and riding their bicycles around, and my stepfather being like, how do I send an email? I don't think Robert De Niro can do wrong. I really don't think he can do no wrong. He's amazing. I love him in everything he does. He can play a mobster. He can play a dad. He can play a granddad. He's retired. His wife's passed away, and he really just wants to find something to do with his time because he's got all this free time, and so he applies to be this intern. Okay, the conflict in the movie, there's a couple of them. One I'm not going to tell you about because it's, I think, part of what made the movie great. The other conflict that I can tell you about is that Jules has always run the company, and it's now becoming bigger than they ever imagined. And so they're thinking about bringing in a CEO to come in and kind of take over, and that would mean that would be her boss. So that's kind of the conflict in the movie, outside of the fact that Jules is this control freak of a person, and now she has this intern who she really doesn't want or have time to explain anything to. The relationship between Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway is very father and daughter-like, which I think is something that is amazing casting-wise. They did a really great job. They have great chemistry as father and daughter, and there's moments in the movie that are just so sweet and wonderful. I really like this movie because I feel like this is a movie that everyone can enjoy. I don't necessarily think it's a great date movie because I think if you're on a date, hot date, you want to see like a big action movie or a romance movie. This isn't necessarily maybe a date movie, but I would have loved to have gone and seen this with my parents. If I was back east, I would have went to see this with my mom and my stepdad, and they would have loved it. This definitely wasn't a bad movie. I wasn't a fan of the ending at all, but up until that point, it was very enjoyable. I had fun. I laughed. I cried. It was a great escape for, a couple hours to kind of take you outside of your own world. All right, guys, I enjoyed The Intern. I thought it was a great night out. It was a fun escape for 2.5 hours, and I laughed and I cried. And I always love getting the feels from movies. Love that. Next week, I will be reviewing The Martian, which I'm really excited about. And for the first time, I haven't read the book before I saw the movie. That may change by the next time I talk to you, but as of right now, I haven't. So make sure you come back to see me next week and talk The Martian. And go down in the comment section below and let me know what you think of Nancy Meyers and what your favorite film of hers is. She's done so many. I mean, Private Benjamin, really? Can you remember that movie? It was amazing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I will see you guys next week on Monday Morning Critic.